The Batman from 2022 is just the most recent film about Batman. There have been how many Batman sequels, how many Batman remakes, and each time they keep trying to really do the same thing, bring in the same villains. And one thing that I will admit is this particular one, The Batman, they do try to kind of recapture the Christopher Nolan sort of stuff, because the Christopher Nolan Batman movies are essentially just crime films that happen to have this masked vigilante with a big cape. In this Batman movie, they try to kind of up the darkness, up the horror of what Christopher Nolan kind of set with those ones. I think that was a good touch with Matt Reeves' vision to it. The other good thing about Matt Reeves' vision is how well he was able to get the acting to come to life. I do think that Robert Pattinson is a good actor. I was also not expecting him to be a good Batman. It's not even because of Twilight. He just doesn't really have the general look, and he's skinny. But I was really caught off guard. I thought that he was just fine as Batman. And then there's the performances by Colin Farrell as the Penguin, Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, Paul Dano as the Riddler. I thought all that stuff was just fine. The movie, I'll admit, does have a kind of a been there, done that sort of story, because it's you can only do Batman so many times, okay? We have all these familiar characters, all these familiar villains, and the familiarity of everything. You can only do things so many times before you start getting, like, superhero fatigue. So that's why The Batman, not being a traditional multi-zillion dollar superhero extravaganza like what Zack Snyder ended up doing with some of his things, was a really good touch. And because the movie is I want to say it's the longest of the Batman movies so far. It's almost 3 hours. It actually, the pace of this is actually quite good. I was really surprised with that. So the movie itself is quite good, like, for the most part. Like, when you think of the acting, the characterizations, and some of the fight scenes, most of that stuff is quite good. But the one thing that really kind of, like, almost destroyed the movie for me was its cinematography, okay? The cinematography is kind of the opposite of this video that I'm doing right now. This video is nice and bright. Well, with the Batman, the lighting of this film is almost as bad as Alien vs. Predator Requiem. So what I recommend you do, fellow viewer, when you watch The Batman, whether you're watching it on your computer or on your regular television, adjust the brightness a lot, because everything is so dark in this that you're trying to squint and you're trying to really see what's happening, and you can't see anything. Like, I don't mind when a movie is dark, but if there's some lights and there's some cool cinematography, like a cyberpunk sort of film, then it wouldn't be such a big deal. But this is so dark. Like, after a while, I just wanted, I could barely see what was happening. I wanted to actually have a good idea. I wanted to actually see Batman talking to whomever, and I want to see some of the fight scenes in a better light. Don't get me wrong, some of the action sequences in this you can see some of that stuff is good. And there are some scenes where you actually are able to see really well, but it's not enough. If this was like Blade Runner or Strange Days, then actually seeing then there wouldn't be any problem actually seeing what was actually on screen. It would have been so much better. But 3 hours, and we're just hearing the things, and we can see just a little bit of things. I thought that was a major blow to the film. In 1992, when Ridley Scott ended up re-releasing Blade Runner, the director's cut, and then like 20 years later, he released the final cut. He was able to adjust the brightness, make some things brighter. I really hope that Matt Reeves does the same thing to the Batman, because that was really I really thought that was kind of one of the few big flaws with the film, was that I could not see anything. I'm kind of on the fence with the Batman, but I just say it, but the cinematography in this was so bad, I have to give it a thumbs down, 2.5 stars out of 4. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you again next time.